entrepreneur. And today we're going to do a little mindset training. So as you're coming in, say hello to me. Let me know where you're joining from. Any questions you may have, feel free to ask at this time. So we're going to do a little mindset training today. We're going to talk about some internal motivation. We're going to talk about intrinsic motivation and what that means and actually looks like, right? Inside of our businesses and our ministries. And I'm just going to test out the sound and we're going to get started. I want to share it out as well. Okay. So our sound is good. So we're talking about how this internal motivation is necessary for success. And I want to start off by telling you this week has been challenging for me. The girl who tries to stay positive, this has been a challenging week. I'm not sure if it's now that we're in what I can't even keep count, week 5 or week 6 in the house with the kids. And for those of you who don't know, I have a 18-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. So I got one that is constantly pulling on me, needing my attention, and another one that is basically pushing me away and don't want me to give attention to his classwork and stuff, right? So trying to juggle that, trying to work, trying to be a wife, trying to take care of the home, it has been a challenge. So how do you stay motivated? Guys, let me know if that's you. Let me know if that has been part of your story as well, that you're in home on the quarantine. I saw a post that said quarantine for everyone else, and it had the kids and the husband kind of on the couch. And then for the mom, she was throwing her hands, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, doing work, doing it all, right? So let me know if that has at all been part of your story or you can relate to that at all. But how do you stay motivated? During this time, how do you stay motivated and moving forward? So I want to give you 5 tips that I use to have that intrinsic motivation, meaning that it comes from inside. There are some rewards for myself that I respond to. So you have to identify and know what you respond to, right? And that what helps you to say, okay, if I do this, then I will receive this reward, this benefit. So I keep that in mind and I continue to move forward. So the first thing that I want to tell you is if you don't stay motivated, you'll realize eventually that things start to fall, right? When I say things start to fall, I mean eventually if you're not motivated to keep your house organized, then after a while you start to have clutter, right? That's just an automatic, right? And I'm that person that clutter actually increases my anxiety. So I always remember, even if I can't clean the entire house, can I clean one room today? Break it down into small bites, right? There's a saying that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I also realize on a greater scheme of things when we're talking about our businesses, if I don't stay motivated when things start to fall, what that means is now my purpose is delayed. And it's time out for having our purpose delayed. There are people who need what's inside of us. There are literally right now people that are getting sick, that are not able to have employment because they're waiting on what's inside of you. Some of you have businesses that are supposed to employ others. Some of you have businesses that are supposed to be that last piece to the puzzle to help that next person unlock their income, right? So your purpose is delayed if you don't stay motivated. Number 2, and I'm just going to move through these things, right? I'm just trying to stir your mind. This is some mindset stuff today, guys. If you don't keep yourself motivated, right? In order to do that, you got to start drowning out the noise. What do I mean when I say drowning out the noise? A lot of the noise that we are listening to, yes, some of it comes from the media, right? But a lot of that noise is coming from our own heads. A lot of that noise is our messages that we've been telling ourselves, right? I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but have you ever really felt like you were drowning? I mean, literally drowning. I have had that experience. I remember when one time my husband and I were in Aruba, and he was helping, trying to teach me how to swim, right? And somehow in the midst of it, I got pushed up under him. Now, I always tease him and say, "You tried to drown me." But I literally was up under him and I was fighting for my life. I was drinking in water and I was fighting for my life. During that process, as I felt like I was drowning, I couldn't hear, I couldn't see what was all around me, right? All the noise, all the things, the senses in the environment were drowned out. So the only thing I could do was fight to live. I started fighting to swim, right? If we drown out the noise, if we drown out our own internal messages that are telling us no, that are telling us wait, that are telling us just go back to bed. If we drown out that stuff, you'll start seeing that you'll fight. You'll fight to swim. And when you start learning to swim, oh baby, the stuff that is inside of you, that actually leads to number 3. When you start learning to swim and you stay motivated, what will happen is your vision starts to expand. You may have thought I had one small business that was going to be one piece of content for a ministry. You may have thought my vision was for some inner city youth to be able to have a place to come that was safe. But when you start to swim, that vision starts to expand and you start to see youth centers. You start to see a global, a nationwide organization, right? But all of that has to take place by you staying motivated. So motivation, number 3, motivation will expand your vision and it will also expand your influence. Because as you're working day by day, people start to see, what is she doing? What is he doing? He is really growing that ministry. He is really expanding that vision. I want to listen to him share the facts. You know, he has a unique way of breaking down the word of God. He has a unique way of just speaking right to your heart. She infuses comedy into her breaking down the word of God, right? When your vision starts to expand, your influence also starts to expand. So we got to stay motivated. Now, number 4, y'all gonna say, "Oh no, don't get on that box." But in order to stay motivated, you got to create a health plan. That is so important. Why is that important, Stephanie? Your health plan is crucial so that your body is up for the task, so that you can enjoy the fruit of your work, so that you are not drained, so that your temper is not short, right? Because when you don't feel good, y'all know we'll snap people up in a minute. So we got to stay creating a health plan. And I know during this time where we're in, it's easy to get off track with our health plan. I personally am a testament of that. But the other day I had to say, "Okay, Stephanie, you've had challenging times. You've had your days to have to shift the way you like things, how you like them organized. That is no longer. But let's get your health together." So I started back running and walking, right? Y'all, the first day, I felt like my lungs were going to explode, right? Because I had gotten out of the habit of walking and running. But then on day 2, it was easier, right? And each day it becomes easier and easier. My health plan is building so that I can stay motivated, because the other part of that is when you don't feel good, you don't do what you need to do, right? So that's number 4. And finally, number 5. Number 5 is your golden nugget, because in number 5, I'm going to not only give you a key for motivation and the importance of motivation, but I'm going to give you a tip for business if you're looking to start creating content and getting your message out there to your niche. Okay, so number 5, I want you to really listen to. Number 5 is focused and disciplined thinking. In order to stay motivated, to have that internal motivation, you want to start developing, cultivating focused and disciplined thinking. We're talking about the mindset, right? So here's my question to you. Have you ever created a plan for learning? Yes. Sometimes we actually need an organized plan to even learn. So here's what I do. I'm going to share with you my plan, but you can create what your plan is that works best for you, right? So the first thing I do every day, I listen or I read for about 20 to 30 minutes. So whether I'm listening to a podcast, whether I'm listening to a devotion, whether I'm listening to a sermon on YouTube, whether I'm reading a book, whether I'm reading articles, I listen and or read for 20 to 30 minutes daily. That's the first step, right? Taking in new knowledge. Then, number 2, I write notes from what I've listened to or what I've read. And I want to encourage you at this point so that this is not like a long, you get lost in your learning. Take 20 to 30 minutes of listening to or reading the content. Then you want to write notes, put a timer on it. Just write some notes from what you just listened to or read. Write those notes down. Take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And then you look at your notes and you want to pull out 1 to 3 keys or resonating thoughts. That's it. 1 to 3. That should take you all of 3 to 5 minutes, right? Now, I told you this was important because this is actually a tip for business. This is actually a tip for ministry leaders. Once you have done that, stop, put it up. But then the next day, come back to those notes and those resonating thoughts and write down or record some content, right? That is an amazing and easy, effective strategy for creating content. My students, clients tell me so many times, I don't know how to create this content. That's one strategy. It's very effective for starting to create content. And this can be for ministry leaders. This can be for business owners. You need content for your niche. Start learning, start writing notes, 1 to 3 key resonating thoughts. Next day, you come back to those notes and you write down something, whether it's a blog, whether it's a daily devotion, whether it's a video you record. Now you have content inside of your niche. So this has been your key for staying motivated, right? That internal motivation that's going to help move you forward. That's going to help you to grow your influence and your vision. That's going to help you to write content inside of your particular niche. I hope this has been a blessing to you. This has been our Thursday Kingdom Training. I'm Stephanie Hill Nchege.